Hello and welcome to another edition of the Lanzarote News and Weather. I'm Mike from Lanzarote Information, and as you can probably see, I'm in a different location this week. We're in our hotel in Gran Canaria in Melaneros, and we're here for a travel conference. So we've had a couple of days sort of chilling and riding our bikes around the island and really enjoying ourselves and discovering some of the lovely hotels and restaurants along this patch of the coast. I'm recording this Friday morning. This afternoon we're heading up to our next hotel for the main event, the reason we're here, which is a travel conference. So we'll be working hard over the weekend and into Monday, meeting suppliers and tour operators and hotel owners and various other people related to the travel industry. But as always, we're keeping the news going for you, so let's crack on with the first story. And this is about the staff who work at the CACT centres, CACT. And these are the places like Jardines del Agua, Jardín de Cactus, where else, the Monumentos in the centre of the island. Just all of the places that are run by the Cabildo. Castillo San Jose is another example. Now, years and years ago, as they were gradually refurbished and sort of came on stream, became open, we're talking in the 1980s now, they each had a unique uniform designed by Cesar Manrique, and over the years that has evolved. But the Cabildo have now decided that, and the tourism department have now decided that they're going to revert back to the original uniforms as designed by Manrique in the 1980s. And pretty cool, actually. I like them, and I'll run a couple of pictures of them across the top of the screen while this is running. They're very bright. The regular staff have very stripy uniforms. The managers and the maitre d' in the restaurants have single colour uniforms, but they're all just bright and interesting and nice. And they've been redone in sustainable fabrics now, and all of the centres will be switching into them over the next week or so. Next up, we've had a Predator drone deploy into Lanzarote Airport. These drones are long-range surveillance drones that can stay in the air for hours and hours and hours. And it's landed into Lanzarote, and it's part of the security apparatus for the visit of Pope Leo to the Canary Islands. He's not actually coming to Lanzarote, he's doing the two capital islands, so he's spending a day, the 11th of June in Gran Canaria, and then a second day on the 12th of June in Tenerife. And this drone will be overflying presumably the sites where he is in order to maintain some surveillance and give him some additional security cover. It's a Predator B drone, and it's from I think it's the 23rd wing, the 23rd wing of the Spanish Air Force. And it's one that's flown remotely by a crew in the mainland of Spain. So they fly it they have flown it to Lanzarote and landed it from their base in the mainland of Spain. Very cool technology. Next up, there was a big fire in Playa Blanca on Tuesday morning in the early hours. This was at Centro Comercial Papagayo, and the fire completely gutted one unit there, severely damaged one next to it, and caused some sort of cosmetic, blackening and fire damage to a large chunk of that area of the shopping centre. Nobody was hurt, and the fire department were able to put it out using a lot of water, and presumably the owners will have to completely redo it before they can move back into it. I mentioned this last week. The Cabildo were proposing to take control of the water company in Lanzarote. The water company is called Canal Gestion, and they have now done so with effect from Tuesday morning. They have control of the water consortium of the Cabildo, have complete control of the main water company in Lanzarote. As I said, it was called Canal Gestion. They've taken control of the desalination plants, all of the vehicles, all of the computer systems, and they will begin billing clients for water on the 8th of June. This affects most people on the island. Who it doesn't affect are a relatively small number of properties in the south of the island, in the kind of Faro Park area, where there is a private water company called Club Lanzarote. But the rest of us, anyone who has water from Canal Gestion, we're now having our water controlled by the water consortium of the Cabildo. Their stated aim is to very quickly move to a point where we no longer have water issues and water shortages and water cuts on the island. Personally, I have some doubts about the ability of politicians to be able to run this kind of business, but hopefully I'll be proved wrong and they'll do a great job and get the water cut situation sorted out very, very quickly. Let's see. 3 stories to go for you, and the first of them is a really sad one. A Scottish lady died in Lanzarote. She was a tourist. She was only 46 years old. Her name was Mandy Murray, and she landed on the island, and on the first day of her holiday she suffered a heart attack, and unfortunately nobody could bring her back, so she died. She was with her family here. It was just really sad, and you know, you could kind of feel the downer on the island of Lanzarote, because these things don't happen very often, but when they do, it's always a bit of a shock, particularly to someone who is still relatively young. According to her family, she died peacefully and was happy to be at least starting her holiday on the island. Our penultimate story now. Alejandro Muller is actually a Conejero, despite the fact that his name is Muller. He was born on the island, but his grandfather, who was German, started Waikiki Bar in Puerto del Carmen, who many of you will know. Alejandro has started a software company called Sirvo, S-I-R-V-O, and he's written some very clever code which creates AI agents to work within WhatsApp to help people booking tables in restaurants. And he's already launched it in Lanzarote, and there are some restaurants, Brisa and Marina for example, are using this system now. So when you contact the restaurant to book, the WhatsApp bot will give you information about it, will share the menu if you wanted to do that, and it will take your booking and book you into the restaurant and then let the restaurant know about it. So this looks quite a clever piece of software, and Alejandro's plan is to spread it out across Lanzarote and then the other Canary Islands, and eventually move to the mainland, the peninsula of Spain with it. So good luck to him. Lovely to see a Lanzaroteño entrepreneur at work. And the final story this week is about concerns about the birth rate. Now, the Spanish birth rate, the birth rate across Spain as a whole, has been falling for a number of years, and that has caused some concerns. We have an ageing population and not enough young ones coming in to join it. And that's even more so in the Canary Islands, and particularly in Lanzarote. The birth rate in Lanzarote has continued to fall in the first quarter. And based on the average of 76 births per month, it looks like we will have fewer than 1,000 births in Lanzarote in 2026. Now that compares to when we first moved here in the early 2000s to about 1,500 births a year. So that's a really significant drop in a relatively short space of time, and also at a time when the population is much bigger than it was in the early 2000s. Our population was under 100,000 at that time. We're now 168,000, but we've got 33% fewer births. So it could create a long-term issue for Lanzarote and for the islands, but hopefully people will start having more babies in the not too distant future. So that's it for this week from beautiful sunny Gran Canaria. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back to Lanzarote for next week's news, so we'll see you then. Bye for now, everyone. Bye.